Every year, people around the world spend more than 500 million years on social media. With 1,360,000 years on social media collectively every day and 5 billion active users, nearly 60% of the world's population is scrolling for 2 hours and 30 minutes per day. What's the most addictive social media platform, if any? You realized it was TikTok, of course. One spends 23.5 hours on TikTok every month. Behind that is YouTube, followed by Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Yes, but the most popular one is Facebook, which has around 3 billion users, followed by YouTube, WhatsApp, and Instagram, which have about 2 billion users. TikTok is a little further away since it's divided into 2 Chinese applications. One is called Douyin, and other social media like Twitter or Snapchat have a little bit lower numbers, between 500 and 700 million users. But why do we spend so much time on social media? What's the secret behind it? Studies have shown that social media can be positive if you use it only to facilitate genuine social relationships with others, without spending too much time on them, of course. Well, that's good for us, except we've all been scrolling for hours without knowing why. You may even have the habit of checking your phone as soon as you get a little bored. It's because, in fact, almost nobody uses social media the right way. Let's take Facebook, for example, which is by far the most popular. There are internal documents that have leaked. It's estimated that 1 in 8 users has compulsive use of it that negatively impacts their lives. Yeah, okay, the positive social interactions make us feel good. So good that when we're in need, we sometimes compare the negative effects to cigarettes. There's a direct link between longevity and the quality of relationships among human beings, and we're perfectly designed for that. For example, in a normal conversation, we spend 30 to 40% of our time talking about ourselves and our experiences, and it releases dopamine, which is the satisfaction hormone. Humans need to socialize to evolve. On social media, people just have the ability to do something pleasant, like when one of your photos gets liked, when you talk to family and friends, or even when you develop relationships. Feeling close to someone you don't know, like a content creator, can be good. But of course, it can turn into obsession, and it's catastrophic. Okay, but how do people get obsessed? All social media have almost the same way they make money, which is advertising. So it's important that you spend as much time as possible on the app to watch the ads, of course, but also because the activity leads to activity. The more people there are, the more interaction there is. So to better understand it, I'm gonna compare it to a casino. You're in front of a slot machine. You throw a game, the wheel spins, and you lose or you win. If you win, you get a dopamine shot. Humans are not so complicated. When they find a source of dopamine, they want to abuse it. The thing is that casinos are smart. They've optimized the system to keep you addicted to that dopamine. With social media, it's exactly the same. Just replace the symbols with photos or videos, and the machine handles with scrolling. You only stay half a second on TikTok videos, waiting to find the best one. You pass in front of hundreds of YouTube videos of your subscriptions without knowing which one to watch. You're looking for the jackpot, for that boost of dopamine. That's why they need to constantly stimulate us. And there are plenty of techniques. They can play with our expectations, like Instagram, which deliberately made the likes appear by group rather than one by one. So you first experience a waiting phase, then you're super happy to see your likes go up. And then, of course, the algorithms collect our data to know our habits, what we like, the hours we connect to, and the things that make us stay or leave the app. And personally, as soon as I see, for example, something I'm interested in, I stay on average 10% more on the app. So they have no interest in not showing it to me. All this makes you accustomed to checking your social media regularly as soon as you get a little bored. Okay, but the important question here is, what are the negative effects of social media on users? To answer that, we're going to look at all the studies on the subject. Numerous studies and systematic reviews have shown a correlation between time spent on social networks and poor mental health. Problems of anxiety, depression, lack of sleep, poor diet, and addiction, but also cyber harassment or low self-esteem. Between 40 and 60% of people have ever been victims of online violence, but we don't even need others to feel bad. Those who take and post selfies would feel more anxious, less confident, and less attractive than others. We sometimes even call it the selfies effect. We also have the case that followed teenagers in their uses of social media for more than 3 years. They demonstrated with brain scanners that those who used social media a lot were much more sensitive to social interactions. They don't say that it's good or bad being sensitive. It's not necessarily negative, but it suggests that it can change the way our brain develops. We also noticed that people who post their souvenirs online don't really remember the events they participated in. Not only do they remember them less well, but in addition, it's influenced by the score of the posts. If your photo gets 500 likes or a retweet, you remember the event better than if it flops, because somehow you get attached to it. And in addition, you might see the same post again to remind you how good it was. But are there any advantages? For example, the amount of information we process continuously must make us better at doing several things at once, right? I would say it depends. Some experts say it makes people more sensitive. They have more difficulty focusing or effectively switching from one task to another. There are those who find that, on the contrary, it has a positive impact, but only in people under the age of 30. However, it is necessary to specify that in almost all cases, the problems are related to overuse. We do not have any problems after launching TikTok 3 times, but if we overuse it, in the US, a good part of boys and girls under the age of 15 already have problematic use. In the United Kingdom, half of teenagers say they're addicted. There's also the quality of the information. You knew that on Twitter, fake news are 70% more likely to be retweeted, and that it also takes 6 times more for a true story to spread to 1,500 people. And that's because a lie surprises us more than the truth. Sadly, we're more likely to overreact, to be afraid, to get intrigued, to have the impression of learning something new, and then people often don't have the urge to check if it's true. It goes even further. We know that the more we see something, the more you find it credible, no matter what it says. It's not surprising that it facilitates conspiracy theories and that propagandists have understood it well, especially during the elections. That's why governments are fighting so much against fake news. In reality, social media are neither the horrible places we see in the media, nor the paradise that companies tell us they are. It's mostly that we don't know how to use them. When you open an app, you forget why you did it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this video's opened your eyes to some of the secrets behind social media. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to always stay curious and never stop learning.